I'm going to talk about two specific scenes in the film that really capture the essence of one of the primary characters, Jerry Lundegaard, and what that means for the bigger picture of the film. Then I'm going to connect these two scenes together in order to prove an underlying point in regards to Jerry's subordinate relationship with characters. The first scene I want to look at is the relationship between Jerry and his father-in-law, Wade Gustafson.
Wade, have you had a chance to think about, that deal I was talking about, those 40 acres there in Wayzata?
You told me about it.
Yeah, you said you'd have to think about it. I understand it's a lot of money.
It's a heck of a lot. What did you say you were going to put there?
A lot. It's a
I
limited...
know it's a lot.
I mean, a parking lot.
Yeah, well, 750,000 is a lot.
Yeah, well, it's a chunk, but...
I had a couple
think...
lots, late 50s. Lost a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah, but the
I
difference...
thought you were going to show it to Stan Grossman. He passes on this stuff before it gets kicked up to me.
Well, Stan will say no dice. That's why you pay him. I'm asking you here, Wade. This could work out real good for me and Gene and Scotty.
Gene and Scotty never have to worry.
The scene gives us a lot of information regarding the relationship and the power dynamic between Jerry and his father-in-law. Jerry begins this conversation by asking Wade if he has the time to think about a deal that Jerry presumably proposed to him at an earlier date. The audience can infer from what Jerry says to Carl and Geyer that this deal is simply a ploy to acquire the money that Jerry needs to settle his debts. A series of factors lead to the conclusion that Wade does not respect or value Jerry in any way. Throughout their conversation, while Jerry makes frequent eye contact with him, Wade barely ever makes eye contact with Jerry, only ever glancing at him and looking out into the distance whenever he has something to say to him. It is also evident that Wade holds all of the power in this situation as well. Wade is the patriarch of the family, and we already know that he holds financial domination over Jerry and his family. The power dynamic is brought to life in the scene through the way Wade talks down to Jerry and cuts him off at various points in his dialogue. On top of that, most of the scene is shot from over the shoulder of Wade, focusing on Jerry. Wade is larger than Jerry in the frame, and therefore the composition of the shot symbolically reveals more about Wade's control. The last line of dialogue in this scene is a response to Jerry's statement, "This could work out real good for me and Gene and Scotty," to which Wade replies, "Gene and Scotty never have to worry," intentionally leaving Jerry out of the statement. All of these factors lead to the conclusion that Wade has no respect for Jerry, and he does not approve of him, perhaps as a husband, and it might even suggest that Wade is aware of Jerry's dishonest personality. This scene allows us to see that Jerry is a weak character, and he is not respected. We know that Jerry is a con artist car salesman, and he is plotting to have his wife kidnapped so he can take the ransom money. Wade is in the right not to respect Jerry, because nothing that Jerry does in the film is respectable. Wade's distrust of Jerry could be a result of what he already knows of his practices, as Jerry works for Wade in an auto dealership. The scene allows us to see how a character like Wade overpowers Jerry, not only because he has wealth and is the patriarch of the family, but also because he holds moral ethical superiority over the dishonest Jerry. The superiority over Jerry does not just apply to Wade. The second scene is a meeting between Jerry Lundegaard and Marge Gunderson.
Mr. Lundegaard, sorry to bother you again. Can I come in?
Yeah, no, I'm kinda busy here.
I understand. I'll keep it real short then. I'm on my way out of town, but I was wondering, do you mind if I sit down? Carrying a bit of a load here.
No,
Yeah, it's this vehicle I asked you about yesterday. I was just wondering.
yeah, like I told you, we haven't had any vehicles go missing.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know? Because, see, the crime I'm investigating, the perpetrators were driving a car with dealer plates, and they called someone who works here, so it'd be quite a coincidence if they weren't, connected.
Yeah, I see.
So, how do you... Have you done any kind of inventory recently?
The car's not from our lot, ma'am.
But how do you know that for sure without doing a...
Well, I would know. I'm the executive sales manager.
Yeah, but I understand.
We run a pretty tight ship here.
I know, but, well, how do they establish that, sir? I mean, are the cars counted daily, or what kind of a routine here?
Ma'am, I answered your question.
I'm sorry, sir?
Ma'am, I answered your question. I answered the darn... I'm cooperating here, and there's no,
Sir, you have no call to get snippy with me. I'm just doing my job here.
I'm not, I'm not arguing here. I'm cooperating, and we're doing all we can.
Sir, could I talk to Mr. Gustafson? Mr. Lundegaard.
Well, heck, if you wanna play games here, I'm working with you on this thing here, but okay, I'll do a damn lot count.
Sir, right now?
Yeah, right now. You're darn tootin'. So damn important to you.
I'm sorry, sir.
Ah, what the Christ.
At this point, all of the facets of the case are beginning to connect themselves, and Marge has made the connection between the car dealership and the murders. What she does not know, however, is about the kidnapping, and the fact that Jerry is responsible for all of the events that occurred. She does not re-enter Jerry's office with any knowledge of who she is speaking to, yet Jerry's own incompetence and nervousness gives him up. The scene parallels the first meeting between the two, as Marge comes in and says the same lines as she does in the first time around, such as, "Do you mind if I come and sit down? I'm carrying quite a load here." She comes in to further inquire about the stolen car, asking about how often they take inventory of their dealer lots. You can tell she doesn't have any suspicions of Jerry at first, but it's when Jerry starts to break down and snap at Marge that she expresses suspicion and curiosity. Jerry nervously stutters things like, "I'm cooperating here," while at the same time not answering the question directly. The first encounter between the two was similar, but since Marge did not suspect anything at all, she dismissed it. However, Jerry mumbles incoherently and passive-aggressively. We cut to a shot of Marge with an expression that tells you she knows that she knows something is wrong, and this man is lying to hide something. She immediately stands up. A reverse shot is taken of Marge from a low angle and Jerry from a high angle, which now establishes the power that Marge has over Jerry at this point, as Marge asks if she can talk with his boss. From this point on, it is downhill for Jerry, and is the next time we see him after he flees the interview is being arrested. Like Wade, Marge eventually realizes the kind of person that Jerry is, and she no longer respects him. These two scenes highlight the fact that Jerry is not a powerful character, and yet through the film, the violence and disaster all occur because of his decisions. In a way, Jerry has power, as he is the only one who knows the truth about the entire situation with the kidnapping, and therefore he was able to trick all of the characters in the film with his dishonesty and his cunning. However, his lack of power over characters such as Wade and Marge prompt disaster to happen in the first place. If Wade had trusted Jerry to complete the drop-off, events might have occurred differently. It was due to the fact that Wade did not trust or respect Jerry enough to make the drop-off, which foiled the plan and resulted in Wade's death. It was Jerry's inability to stay cool under the questioning of the law that placed him as a suspect in the murder kidnapping. It is not clear whether Jerry engages in dishonest behavior to compensate for his weakness, but it is clear that through his own actions, the other characters have a substantial amount of supremacy over him, as he descends further into chaos.